Hello everyone, welcome back to Art Therapy with MindSoulMeditations. Before we get started, let's take a moment to take a deep breath and let it out slowly. And another one. Let's chat about letting go of judgments and how AI art can be a pretty cool sidekick on this journey. You know how we sometimes get stuck in this habit of labeling things as good or bad, or making snap decisions about people or situations? Well, letting go of judgments is all about stepping back from that knee-jerk reaction and seeing things with a more open, accepting mind. Now here's where AI art can lend a hand. AI can create images that challenge our preconceptions, helping us see things in new ways. It can generate art that represents the freedom of a non-judgmental mindset. Creating AI art can help us practice being open to unexpected outcomes. It can serve as a visual prompt for examining our own biases and judgments. It can create diverse representations that encourage understanding and acceptance. Want to see some cool ideas for artwork that could represent letting go of judgments? Check these out. Imagine a giant kaleidoscope filled with diverse faces and scenes, all blending and shifting. It's about seeing the beauty in diversity and constant change. Picture a person stepping out of a box labeled judgments, and as they do, they transform into a colorful, abstract form. It's about breaking free from rigid thinking. Visualize a person releasing a bunch of balloons, each representing a different judgment or preconception, watching them float away into a clear sky. Think of a serene figure sitting on a hill, watching various scenes unfold below without any visible reaction. It represents observing without judging. Imagine a world where all labels and categories are different colored blocks of ice. They are slowly melting and blending together. It's about the impermanence and fluidity of our judgments. These artworks could be great reminders to keep an open mind throughout your day. You could use them as screensavers, print them for your workspace, or even create a little meditation corner with them. The idea is to surround yourself with visual cues that encourage a more accepting, less judgmental outlook. So what do you think? Ready to use some AI art magic to help shake off those pesky judgments? Remember, it's a journey, and every little step towards being more open-minded is a win. Our special guest today is JBR Visuals, a highly accomplished artist and inspiring role model to women artists globally. You'll find her involved in a number of passion projects and always there to engage and cheer on fellow artists. As an unwavering survivor and advocate of domestic violence, JBR fiercely breaks open the conversation through creativity. Her versatile artistry evokes a stunningly powerful emotional stance that brews the soul. JBR's works have been featured in countless NFT-curated shows since 2021 and has exhibited around the globe since 2016. JBR is a leader in uniting underdeveloped and unrecognized artists on conversational platforms, bringing together a commonality, connection of the human spirit. In 2017, she stood with over 500,000 women in Washington, D.C. to demonstrate solidarity against gender and racially based inequalities, healthcare reform, and women's rights. As JBR would say, it is essential to forge an atmosphere of kindness while creating with you and for you if we're ever going to see change. Let's hear from JBR as she shares her thoughts on letting go of judgments.
Hi, I'm JBR of JBR Visuals. Thank you, MindSoulMeditations, for asking me to dive into the art of fragmenting, judgments, and letting go. Wow, when I think of judgment, it resembles this sneaky little troll living under a bridge in my creative mind. Yeah, it's constantly chattering, picking on me, picking on you, and tearing me away from my community. This troll wants me all to itself because the troll needs me as its companion. And funnily enough, he, she, it, they is judging me. Now, why would I want to hang out with this troll? It's crazy a little bit to think on this, right? But sometimes I do, because when I listen to the troll and not say to the troll, no, not today, bye, something happens. And this is that discovery of examination of what the troll is trying to tell me. to take a look at. Now, I'm not an expert, nor do I have a degree in psychology or psychiatry. I can only divulge to you my thinking process, and that is this. In recognizing it, the troll, judgment, exists, then I'm able to take measures to the first step of healing, right? Uncovering is what this is. But now get this. The way I take the power out of judgment is to encourage an empowering conversation. Perhaps with me, you, if somebody's around, that would be nice. Exploration is the assist in shedding negative layers to formulate a positive. What's beautiful is that painting or digital creations, music, poetry, all of it gets me to get through this madness. There's so much trolling that is societal, where me, have to develop a mechanism in order to process it and exist on the planet. Politics, women's rights, racism, good goddess, racism. Our planet, wildlife, and countless other living situations brings on judgment in a legendary scale. It's important also to address that if I were to censor my thinking, then I shouldn't be in the business of artistry. Yeah, that's a lot to process. All right, so perhaps breaking all of this down could lead to a more visceral poke as opposed to theorizing about judging and letting go. So there is a series I created in 2022 called The Body Beautiful, and it's located in Saatchi as an IRL, but it's also a digital project. It's an homage to celebrating physicality as opposed to judging my physical self for my whole life. This started when I was 12 years old. I was just a mini JBR when a Calvin Klein commercial featuring Brooke Shields and her Calvins urged me to battle my body for societal acceptance. Little did I know then the impact that this obsession would have on me for, my whole life. The regime included starvation, evacuants, food weigh-ins, consumption, wrapping my arms around my body only to pinch the fat, 2.5-hour workouts for 5 days a week in my 30s, all through my 40s. This malignant insanity lasted over 35 years. This was all supposed to appease me, you, and the designer's infiltration of why we all should be 100 pounds. Out comes this collection, The Body Beautiful, which evolved actually through working with Searchlight as a curator for the team. We had a call to artists entitled Figure Glyphs. This show catapulted me into examining my illness through the collection, and ultimately, in time, the old ideas and ideology behind my thinking slowly dissipated, adding a more positive outlook on myself, but most importantly, my mental health. I was then finally able to just stop saying to myself, I'm unlovable if I'm this body. I am unlovable if I am this mind. I'm unlovable because I'm not enough. This evolution of thought was so remarkable that it resembled shedding layers of the troll who embodied my consciousness, and eventually I began to eat, yay, without shame. Yay, yay, yay. But also, I want to point out that never have I ever used the word whatever. Hidden in that seemingly harmless word is a whole lot of dismissiveness. It's like a tiny little grenade of apathy, ready to explode and spread negativity. Whatever shuts down conversations, dismisses everyone around you, and sets feelings into a hole, never to see any light. And frankly, there's just so much underlying hate in it. No, really, there is. Spell the word, and you'll find the word hate in it. And also, it's the troll's favorite word, so there's that. Now, it's not to say that some days I see a superstar ready to conquer the world, and other days I still see, a potato. But that's a mirror. That's a mirror playing mind tricks on me, and there's a clown in that mirror that exists. So what do? I see a potato less frequently, hopefully. And I also remind myself that troll is about being perfect. I'm about being perfectly imperfect. I embrace the quirks. I dance with doubts, paint the journey with vibrant strokes of self-love and acceptance. The world could really use a sparkle of unclouded judgment. Until next time, wow, a lot to say. Stay creative, stay kind, eat a cookie, and most importantly, just stay you. Thank you. This is JBR. I'm out.
So before we begin our art today for letting go of judgments, I'd like to take a minute to do a visualization to help us focus. So we're going to start with 3 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take a pause in between and feel your body relax. So let's begin that together. We'll start with the first one. With each breath, feel that tension melting away. And our second one. And our third one. Now, keeping your eyes closed, I'd like you to imagine a bridge spanning a wide flowing river. The water below represents your thoughts, your judgments, constantly moving, changing, shifting. Stand firmly on the bridge. Feel its solid structure beneath your feet. This is your center. You're grounding yourself. You are aware. You are unchanging and stable. Witnessing the flow of thoughts without being swept away. Watch your judgments drift like leaves on the water. Some are dark, some are light. Notice how you can observe them without grabbing, without drowning. The bridge holds you in peaceful distance. Your breath becomes the wind that moves these thoughts gently, persistently releasing. Whisper to yourself, I see the thought, but I am not the thought. I am the bridge. I am the watcher. I am the space between. The river continues. Your judgments flow, but you remain. Observe. Release. Just be. Open your eyes and know you are more than your judgments. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're ready to start creating some art to let go of our personal judgments and the judgments others impose on us. So I've created a prompt already and I've tested it out just to make sure that this is where I want to go. Today's going to be a little bit different though, because we are going to do more than just create the art with the prompt. And we're going to be trying out a new feature that's in Midjourney, which is the editor feature, which allows us to do a lot of really cool things. So our prompt for today is a sfumato style portrait. Remember, sfumato is where the edges are very soft and the paint sort of transitions and smooths together. So we'll have an acrylic painting with layered translucent colors, fragmented human silhouette breaking apart, sharp-edged words of judgment, like shards of glass piercing through soft flesh, muted palette of grays, blues, and deep burgundies, textured brushstrokes revealing emotional vulnerability, shadows distorting facial features, ethereal blending technique showing internal fracturing, delicate yet raw emotional landscape, high contrast between soft bleeding edges and jagged word fragments, atmospheric psychological landscape, introspective, symbolizing emotional fragmentation. That's a big jumble of a lot of stuff, but it really comes out with the results that I was looking for. So I'm going to look at the first few just to give you an idea. So in this one we can kind of see words, but the words are nonsensical. Here we've got the fracturing. Here there's sort of the idea of there's notes and it's fracturing. And this one here is more of a thick paint, but still gets the same effect. So in the second prompt, what I did is I actually decided to try with sharp edged words of judgment and then I used specific words, ugly, fat, useless. And I put those in quotations so that Midjourney understands that what's in the quotation marks, I want these specific words to be in the artwork itself. And so we can take a look at how that looks. So it still makes lots of typos, like let's not deny that, but we do have a lot that are actually correct as well. See some of these. And I think I actually like it better with the words, especially this one. I really love this one here. And we can probably fix up a few little things in here if we want to remove them, or I think I might take out this useless here at the bottom that's misspelled, and just a little bit of that on the Y, on the first ugly that needs to be fixed. So I have a picture here now that I know that, okay, I really like this and I want to fix it up. So we're going to use the new editor tool. So instead of using this editor on the buttons in the bottom right, which lets me make one change and submit, and then I wait for the 4, and I can't really keep working on it from there. I have to keep like re-editing. The new editor lets you take the image and you can keep working at it and keep adjusting it and seeing every iteration, and it's all within a single screen, which makes it a lot easier to work with, and you can use it to do a whole lot of other things. What I need to do first is, if I want to take this picture, is I actually need to copy the URL for this picture because I'm going to bring that into the editor. Hopefully they just let you pick from the gallery in the future, but that's what we need to do for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 3 little bars, sort of like a hamburger menu that's above my prompt on the right here where it says options, and I'm going to go to the submenu item copy. And from there, I'm going to go down to the bottom and select image URL. So I'm going to copy that. And now that that's copied, I can go to the new editor. So I'm going to click on the left side in the panel. I'm going to go to edit. So I'm actually in full Midjourney right now. I normally work in alpha, but I went to full Midjourney just so you could see the full process when you come into it fresh. So a little bit of an explanation to start, introducing the editor. And then here we have the terms of service, because the concern is people can upload images and you need to make sure that the images that you're using, you actually have the rights to use. So they should be your own images that you're using, or you need to have permission to use it, like you've paid for this image. If you use somebody else's content, you may be subject to copyright violation. So you need to agree to the terms and service, and then you can start creating. So now I'm in the new panel, and I'm actually just going to remove the prompt from the top here, just so we get that out of the way. So you have edit an uploaded image or edit from URL. So the upload portion is really great if you want to pull back in old images to try some of these features that are in here. Otherwise, we're going to do edit from URL because we're going to do something that we just did. So I'm going to paste in the URL that I copied and click OK. And so here's my image. And so I'm ready to work. So things we need to look at. We can move and resize. So if I select that, I can move the picture around, or I can resize it. You have handles on the side as well if you want to reframe it that way. So you have a number of different ways that you can move and resize the image. I'm not going to do that for now. The next option is erase. Now I do want to use the erase. So when you are going to erase, you may want to change your brush size right away. So it's a little bit difficult to see perhaps, but I have this large circle, or I can bring it down to a much smaller circle. And I'm going to take out the word useless. I don't mind really other little patches, but I'm going to take that out. And then I'm going to make my brush a lot smaller because I want to take out just a little bit of that Y that's incorrect. Now I can also use image scale. I can set other aspect ratios, and there's other things that we can do here, but I'm not going to do that. We have the restore, we have undo, we have reset, and you can set a prompt at the top. So that's why I deleted my other prompt, is because I just want to fix these areas. So I'm just going to indicate what I want in this specific area. So I had some issues with some of the prompts. I'm not sure why, so I just went with remove the text. It seems to be going now. So we'll see what happens. So the first time I submitted it, I was on relax mode. So I switched to fast mode, and now we've got our results. So on the right here, I have 4 smaller images that I can click through and choose the one that I like. I think I'm going to go with the second one. So I'm happy with this right now. What I can now do is I can select the upscale, and it's going to send that over to my image gallery. So I'm going to upscale, and I can see it added a 1 right here. That's because that's the image upscaling. I can also just go ahead and download the image right from here as well if I'd like. So some other options that I have here, I can do view all. So I can see my project at the top, and then I can see all my variations spread out like this. I can just click back on the main image to return to this page. So I'm going to stay in this project for now because we have other things that we can do here. And this is where I think it's really interesting. We can go into retexture. So what I can do now with retextures, I can actually give it more of a descriptive prompt. So let's say I really like the picture, but in hindsight, I wish that I could have seen this as a photograph. So what I can do is I can actually retexture by giving it a different prompt. So what it's going to do is it's going to work from my picture, and it should turn it into a photograph style. And hopefully we'll just have red lips and the rest of it will be in black and white. So let's give that a try. I apologize if I sound a little weird today. I am sick right now, and I'm trying to record while I'm sick. So our first one here, I don't have any of the words. So unfortunately, I lost all of the words. Let's see if we can keep the text. Let's see how that goes. So I'm going to submit it again. Okay, I also got red eyes on this one, but the words are back. They may not be in exactly the same spot, but I'm actually curious if they are or not. So except for whatever's going on down here, that's a little strange, but I could maybe edit that. But we can see here where it's capturing what I've asked it to do. Let's see how that compares to my words I had here. So it kept them pretty much exactly. That's really interesting. So it did a pretty good job with that. So let's try another one. So I'm going to keep the words visible, and I'm going to change this to chaotic, feeling, style illustration, colorful. And let's try this. Let's see how that goes. I wouldn't necessarily call this graffiti style, but I do still like it. I've chosen a picture that I like here. Let's say now I want to take this one and I want to edit this one further. Because it doesn't really have the full graffiti effect, I think this could potentially, for example, be a mural painted on a wall. But let's say I want to capture that wall. Let's just go with chaotic graffiti. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to enlarge. Let's go 16:9. So I have some space where it can fill in with the prompt. And I'm going to submit. And what I'm hoping to capture here is that this was actually a mural, because it didn't fully have the graffiti style that I was thinking of. But maybe if we sort of build that out, yeah, there we go. We've got it built out so it looks like it's more on a building, and I get more of the effect that this is graffiti art. Let's see here. Some of these buildings don't quite make sense. I think this might be my favorite one right here. So I took my initial prompt, I took my image, I edited just a few little elements that I didn't like about the image. Then we took it into retexture and we tried changing it to a different style. And none of this was using style references. This is just with prompting. So what I'd like to try next is to see if we can actually use a style reference within the editing tool. So we're going to go back into retexture, and I think I'm going to select a different image and grab this one here, and let me see about the style reference. So what I'm going to do is remove the first part of the prompt, and I'm going to do a pop art style illustration. I'm telling it to keep those words, and I'm going to try adding a style reference and see if that works, because I haven't tried that before. So I'm going to submit to retexture. So I'm not sure that this is precisely the style reference that I used, but that may also be because I might have had some profile information also when I was using the style reference last. So I am going to try that and see if that makes a difference. All right, so I do see my profile being applied now, because this looks more like the style that I had. Yeah, this is more the style that I had, that I was looking for. That's what's coming through. Awesome. So I'm going to now try to see if I can add specifically to make it Niji. And here I have in Niji with the style reference and using my profile. So I do see some things, if I want to keep these, that I would need to edit. So this is really interesting way to use your prompt, especially if you hit on something you're like, oh, that's so awesome, but I wish I could see it in a different style or technique, or I wish I'd use a different style reference for that one. So it's a really cool feature, and we saw some different ways that we can use it to build out our prompt, to rescale and add more into the image, and how to retexture the entire thing. So I hope you enjoyed today. I know today's lesson was like very different. It's almost like using a new set of tools within Midjourney, but I think this is really exciting, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Have a great day.